Hello there, and welcome to Alvarez's Diecast Customs. Now today we're going to be working on this Hot Wheels Turismo, which, let's be honest, it's a DeLorean, or Hot Wheels rendition of a DeLorean more like. It's a pretty nasty looking thing to begin with though, isn't it? A horrible paint job they've done on that. Quite why they would make it look like some sort of circus toy racer, I don't know. Anyway, let's just take a closer look at him. Yeah, it's definitely a DeLorean under there somewhere. It's got some sort of weird racing design on it. It's got some official decals on there though, with the Goodyear and the STP and whatnot on there. It's got a metal base, just the one screw holding that in. I've already taken the time to drill the base out on it. Start off with a 2mm drill bit, then work up to a 5mm to remove the main piece of the head off. I like to use these 2mm self-tapping screws to screw into the base there. It's got a metal base on this as well, which is quite nice. And some plastic interior and a blue window. Yeah, that's looking pretty dirty. It's definitely found its way into the sort of mud pit out in the garden. Whichever kid had this previously, many years ago. As it says on the bottom of this casting, it's from 1979, so it's older than I am, that's for sure. Got quite a nice little interior there. Got the front and rear bumpers attached to that as well. All just needs a bloody good clean though, it's absolutely filthy. And there's those horrible wheels, we'll be getting rid of them. I've already taken the time to remove them from the chassis here. They're just held in by these metal clips. I just used the rotary tool with a deburring tool on the end of it and just removed them, and the wheels fall straight out. Get rid of that bit of fluff. But other than that, just get it all cleaned up. This body's going to need stripping. So I chuck that in the stripper. I'm going to go get these wheels changed over because we're not keeping them. So we've gone to see our goddess, Supersonico, and let's see what she can do for us about these wheels. Give her these filthy, disgusting things. Just the worst. So, see you later. And let's see what she's got here. Let's take a look at them. Nice. Oh, they're pretty cool. But did we have these before on that Blitz Speeder? You're giving me stuff again that I've already had. God damn it. There we go. Just test fitted everything onto this now. It's coming together quite nicely. As you can see, that paint's come off quite well as well. Pop that in a pot paint stripper for about an hour, then ran it under a hot water tap and removed the remaining bits of the paint with an old toothbrush. I also placed the metal parts into a little jar and just put some limescale remover, which you generally just use for like your bathrooms or kitchens, and just so that it sat in there for about 5 minutes. It removed most of the oxidation on the metal parts and came up a lot smoother than they initially started. Made sure to give them a bloody good clean afterwards because the limescale remover will continually eat into the metal if left on there. Yeah, as it is, this is what you're left with on the body. I'll be using this fine diamond file just to go around cleaning up some of the edges on it, because some of these edges are just very rough. Looks like shit, to be honest. So we'll be definitely sorting that out. So yeah, just taking my time, go around the body, just cleaning up some of these casting errors and moulding lines and whatever. Rear end looks absolutely battered. There's not a lot I can do with that, because of the effect I'm going with is sort of a brush steel, so I'm trying to avoid painting it. So I'll just try and smooth out as much as I can with the existing casting. So there's most of the edges smoothed over and sort of roughly gone over it. And we need to achieve the brush steel look that we're after for a typical DeLorean. So I'll just be using this emery paper. This is from Tamiya. Just be going over the entire thing, trying to keep into the same direction of it, so basically just following back and forth over and over, trying not to go to side and in circles on it. Literally just go over the entire body with it. Just really smoothing it out. You can see some of the corrosions still on the bonnet there. Soon get that off. And here's what we're left with. Got bloody just filthy doing this, but yeah, it's required. And on the bottom of the base here, it's got these little tabs here where the wheels sit. I'll just be removing them. They're just getting on my nerves. Don't really let the wheels set in properly. So just use the file and remove those. And also just tidy up some of the edges there. Looked like they'd been moulded out of cheese or something with how rough they looked. And also just the front sort of scoop there, just giving that the same brushed steel look. And there it is. So after a good go over with the sandpaper. Also just smoothed up some of the edges on that plastic interior as well, because the bumpers are a bit battered. Just smooth those over. So I've gone ahead and cleaned it and gone over the body here with a matte clear coat. It gives me just the right effect that I was after. You also notice that I've put some Known oil into the panel lines as well. This was done before I matte coated. The matte coat in question is a Rust-Oleum one. Comes straight out of a spray can. Takes about 5 minutes to dry. Base also got hit with a matte black coat straight out of a spray can. And the wheels also, which they were a transparent blue. They are now black, just as they should be. I'll just be highlighting some of the wheel detail with some Revell silver paint, literally just brush painting that on. Just trying to get a relatively realistic look with them. So I'll be using some of the Citadel Known oil again. This time just going over the wheels and highlighting some of the details on these. There we go, got all 4 of them to do. And on the chassis, I'll just be using this silver Sharpie and just picking out some of the extra details on this. It's a quick, clean, easy method this is. Certainly one of the best things to do for the chassis, I find. I used to brush paint them on, but it's so difficult to get a very steady hand with a brush. And these pens work so much better. I'll just be going over this chassis as well, just with the Citadel Known oil, which is, if you didn't know, is essentially just a black wash. You can probably make it yourself just by using 50% water and 50% black paint. It's pretty much indispensable for all my customs. Now just on to detailing the tail lights here, just using some Tamiya clear orange to highlight the indicators. And then we'll go in with the clear red for the brake lights. Not sure what Hot Wheels were really thinking with the lights there with the arrows. Kind of spoils the look of the DeLorean style on the rear there. Now onto the front here, it has this black plastic sort of cowling piece just around the headlights, so we'll just be painting that in with some Revell tank grey. And the window piece, I just gave that a good quick clean over. It's a bit pitted and played with, but overall it's in pretty good condition. No cracks in it, thankfully. I'll just be using this Tamiya clear gloss and just going straight over it with the brush. This will essentially just fill in any little crevices and smooth the whole thing over. It won't make it look brand new, but it'll look damn sight better than it did before. Here's what we're left with. And start putting it all back together now. Everything just pops in there very nice and neatly. There's our interior. Did absolutely nothing to that, just painted it black, straight out of a spray can. It's not like you can see much through those windows anyway. Besides, pretty much the entire DeLorean interior is black anyway. There's our base. I've glued the wheels with their axles in ahead of time. Wheels look pretty good, to be honest now. Wasn't too sure of them to begin with. Thought I was making a wrong decision with going with them. I was trying to look for something with like a DeLorean style to them, and they seem to be the best ones out of the ones I have at the moment. We'll just pop that screw in, just get that screwed in. So before we take a look at what we ended up with, let's take a look at what we started with. So here it is, a rather tired looking old Hot Wheels Turismo, which is a DeLorean, covered in crap and just circus paint job, whatever, had to go. We've given it the proper DeLorean makeover with the brushed steel. Some pretty cool looking wheels. Definitely come together quite well. A very easy makeover considering. Pretty much done it in a couple of hours on an afternoon. It's just quite a simple one. Let's just take a closer look at it. Rolls really well on those wheels. I would imagine with the weight of the body and the chassis being metal with those wheels, it'd probably be really quick on a track. There's those extra details with the tail lights, definitely brings it together, definitely gives it a lot more of a DeLorean look to the rear. There's that weird bull nose sort of bonnet on the front there. Overall, it's a really cool looking car. Quite enjoyed doing this one. I am tempted, to be honest, to revisit it maybe in the future and give it a proper paint job. Maybe some nice new wheels on it, but we'll see in the future how that goes. Just give you some more shots of it from different angles. I am very happy with how this brush steel come out. Although it's not very easy to achieve on some of the areas on it, you will see over the wheel arches it was quite difficult to sort of keep a very even, consistent finish, but overall, pretty good. Quite enjoyed doing that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me do this one. No, it's not really up to the standard of some of my other builds, especially the last truck I did, that drag truck. I love doing that in that sort of ratted out look to it. That was such good fun. Definitely want to do more like that. I just needed something quick and sort of fresh to do, so this fit the bill. Be back to normal sort of business next video. So before we get on to that, let's have a look at Supersonico and see what she's got for us to do next time. Ah, nice, what's that? Let's take a closer look at that. Oh, very nice. It's a Ford Mustang concept car. Really cool. Do love Mustangs. One of my favourite cars. So thanks for that. Can't wait to get on to this. So this has been Alvarez's Diecast Customs. I do hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.